No, man. I think I stopped because Diomedes picked Odysseus to be his marauder in the night.
Marauder?
Yeah. The title of book 10 is Marauding Through the Night.
Right.
And Diomedes volunteers, and then he's told to pick someone to go with him, and he picks Odysseus. He said, then how could I pass up royal Odysseus here? His heart so game, his fighting edge so keen. The best of us all in every combat mission. Athena loves the man. With him at my side, we'd go through fire and make it back alive. No one excels the mastermind of battle.
Whoa, which translation is this?
This is Fagel's. It's not literal. It's poetic.
Right, Lattimore is the one.
Yeah, Lattimore and Fitzgerald are more literal, and the Roos, which is the girl.
Well, you should check out Emily Wilson's new translation of the Iliad, which came out, I believe, this year. Do you know who Emily Wilson is?
I'm aware.
Well, what is she known for?
The Odyssey.
Right. So yeah, she came out with the Iliad this year. Yeah, like I mean, there are some comparisons of her translation with Fagel's, and she's wildly different. Like wildly different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you an example, just one line. So so this is interesting, okay? In the Fagel translation, the line goes like, "Doomed to a short life, you have so little time." Whereas Emily Wilson translates it as, "Your death runs fast behind you."
Whoa.
This is Thetis to her soon-to-die son Achilles. I don't know which line it is, but so yeah. So Emily Wilson's translation is again, "Your death runs fast behind you," whereas Fagel says, "Doomed to a short life, you have so little time." Like, if we were translating this in class, would we have radically different translations like that?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
No, we totally did. But they sent us all the Lattimore, I think they sent us all the Lattimore. So we all were given an Iliad and a Lattimore.
Right.
So some people came in with the other one, and then most people wanted to buy the Odyssey and have it match their Iliad. So most people have the Lattimore.
I showed up with the Lattimore, and then I realized that everybody else in my freshman seminar had different editions because we were January freshmen.
I see.
See.
Sí, señor. I'm like, I have 10 more pages, but I think I'm just going to wake up and do them in the morning.
Do them in the morning, or just do them in a class. Just go like, all right, guys, let's just do these 10 pages.
Yeah, why don't we just read the last 10? They're really important. Let's just read the last 10 pages together.
Let's refresh our memories. I know the rest.
Imagine every day it's like, all right, guys, let's read aloud the next book. Nice job, everyone. That's some good participation. Okay, let's go. Now, tomorrow, it's really low stakes tomorrow. because tomorrow we're just reading books 11 and 12 aloud.
Right.
So I just have to make sure that on Wednesday that I know books 10 through 13.
Right.
And that's just a normal St. John's reading. That's the thing, is these kids read a book a day. They read like 15 to 20 pages, which is a lot for a kid, but that's like nothing to me. I do it in like 45 minutes, and that's all I need to do to prep for the sem. That, and then I read a little bit about them every once in a while to see if there's any like philosophy 101 shit that I'm missing. But for the most part, I kind of loathe secondary sources.
Yeah, secondary sources is tricky. It's like, why are we? It's like secondary sources is actually more appropriate for adults than young people. It's like let the young people run their own imagination. Like
that's why Nietzsche is so bad, because he's a secondary source to Hegel.
No, that's just such a. You cannot say that wholesale about Nietzsche. Okay, like especially what? Like, what do you mean? Like, did you even read Beyond Good and Evil?
Yeah, it's just Hegel, but fatalistic.
That is so untrue. Did you not read the part where he says that Hegel, with his two other buddies who are seminary students, he shits on everyone from Plato on page 1, which he calls, you know, Christianity is Platonism for the masses. So he includes Christianity and Platonism as a kind of degrading experience and philosophy. On page 1, he starts insulting every philosopher from Plato to all the way to Schopenhauer and his contemporaries, and then you have the section on what is nobility, and then where he goes like aristocracy is important, and then he does the after song, and then that's sort of like a prelude to Thus Spoke Zarathustra. But Beyond Good and Evil, 2/3 of Beyond Good and Evil is a series of scathing attacks on everyone, including Hegel and Kant.
I know.
I don't know, but I mean, okay, fatalistic thing, that might be one thing. Even
okay, but here's my characterization of Hegel and my characterization of Nietzsche as a man who's never read anything.
As a man who hasn't read anything, you haven't read anything?
I read these books, but I'm learning that I didn't read them.
Yeah.
We had this conversation before.
Right.
My characterization of those two books, Hegel has a world spirit, and that world spirit is tending towards an end. And so the whole journey is characterized by the end. Whereas Nietzsche says something very similar, but he doesn't think that there is a decided end. He thinks that we're in control of the end, and that the end is embodied in the present, and that we can manifest so strongly that the end changes.
That's what Nietzsche said?
That's my characterization of Nietzsche.
Right.
What do you think?
I mean,
that's what I took from those books, is two different accounts of phenomenology, one being human-centric, one being like God-centric.
Yeah, I think, well, first with the Hegel thing, I think generally that's true, and that's like the, even in some way, like that's the textbook definition of what Hegel is about, that history has a progress, and that spirit being emptied into time is history. And yeah, the spirit has different stages. That's why you have the master and slave thing. That's one stage. Different philosophies are different stages of history. Like Epictetus is is a different stage of um, spirit or consciousness, and it's all developing. Like none of these have reached what he calls the absolute, and we don't read all of Hegel to even get to the part which is the absolute or all knowing. But I think, yeah, to the most part, that's the general definition of what Hegel is about in the phenomenology. But
I know he has 4 other books.
right,
He has like phenomenology of the spirit, of the mind, of the no. He has phenomenology of the spirit, and then he has 4 books like mind, matter.
no.
What are they?
Okay,
There's one
phenomenology
about,
of spirit, science of logic, which is his
Logic.
other, science of logic, which is his other great work, and
he divides the world into 4 parts, doesn't he? Nature, and then man arising out of nature, and then 2 others.
right. But you're talking about the texts, right? But he didn't title his texts because of the way he divided the world.
I know.
Right. Yeah, his main work was the phenomenology of spirit, and then there's another one, phenomenology of mind, I think, and which is also sometimes the title for phenomenology of spirit, which can get confusing. And then there's science of logic, and then there are 2 other minor works, I think.
Yeah.
But I think that's true. But what I really keep wanting to say is that what I keep wanting to say is that we I mean, I went back and read a lot of Hegel after the parts that we did in class. We had like 7, how many were, like 6 seminars on it, and we only did the some chapters in consciousness, and then some chapters in sections in self-consciousness. We did like 10% of the book. But if you go to the other sections, then there's a section on reason, spirit, religion, and absolute knowing.
There's a chapter on absolute knowing.
Yeah, that's the final section.
I need to read that. I like the idea of standing at the front of the stream, getting as close as you can.
Right.
Isn't that Hegel? I mean, it's like history and is like the stream gushing out of a impossibly small point, and the closer and closer you get to it, the more and more present you are, the more you have action over the world. And if you can just stand at the forefront of this gushing water,
right? That might be from the one where he talks about Napoleon and great historical figures. Oh yeah, Hegel's philosophy of history.
Yeah, well, maybe, but Nietzsche is will to power, isn't he?
Yeah.
I loved will to power. I thought it was such a cool idea, manifesting your own understanding of the world so strongly it changes how everyone else sees the world.
Right.
It's pretty sick. It's how you move mountains.
Right.
It's how you make a mountain out of a molehill.
Right. Yeah. Right.
That's biblical shit.
Yeah, but
the thing is,
I was just going to say
radical.
What?
Nietzsche is really radical.
Right. Yeah, but I mean the thing is that
in a good way.
Right. And the thing is that there are incredibly vastly different readings of Hegel. Like extremely different readings of Hegel. Like Marxism was one reading of Hegel where, that part that we read in the collected manifestos, Marx says that he wants to, turn the Tower of Babel upside down, something like that. No, not turn the Tower of Babel upside down. He's saying that he wants to do the Tower of Babel, like, instead of us striving towards the heavens, we should bring the heavens down to earth. And that's what people say, turning Hegel upside down. Like that, like that's like a shorthand explanation of what Marx did with Hegel, because in the preface to all of his works, Marx said, Marx really went into philosophy because of Hegel. Like, he read one thing and then he wrote a letter to his dad, and he said that I've discovered this philosopher and I want to dedicate my life to philosophy, and I want to do this for the rest of my life. Like, that's in the very beginning of his papers.
And then he never read anything ever again.
I don't know about that, but I'm just saying, like, that's one thing, but there are other ones that have had dramatically different readings of Hegel than Marx's reading of Hegel. Like,
Totally.
Like, there's this guy called Brandom. And this is going somewhere. Okay, this is not just completely boring. You're going to like this. You're going to like this. So, Robert Brandom is the foremost American pragmatist philosopher right now. He's one of the three, but he's really the most well known. And
what do you mean pragmatism? What did you say?
Pragmatism. It's like in the tradition of continental philosophers like John Dewey and William James, I think, maybe Peirce.
Continental philosophy just means Western canon, right?
What?
Continental philosophy just means Western.
No. There's a technical distinction that they've made now, which is the difference between analytic and continental.
Okay.
And I don't know what it means, and I don't really care to know what it means, and I don't care what the label pragmatic is about, and I'm not saying I know what any of it really means. That's just the label that Robert Brandom uses.
Right.
So I can't explain to you what pragmatic philosophy is about. I just know the names that are associated with it.
But it's just like being pragmatic.
No, I think it might be something like that, but it's used as a technical label. It's it's not like utilitarian. Like, utilitarian is what the label says it is, right?
That's like Stoicism, a very utilitarian philosophy.
Right. So, okay, so here's an interesting story now. So, Robert Brandom wrote this book, 1,200 pages, commentary on Phenomenology of Spirit, and it came out in 2021, I think, or 2020. And second semester of senior year, I read the last chapters of Phenomenology of Spirit, and it has a beautiful ending. Like, it actually moved me. It references Golgotha from the New Testament.
Okay.
And
I don't know who that is.
it's a place where the skulls were scattered. Golgotha is the name of the place where the skulls were scattered, and then there's also reference to Plato in the very end.
Skulls. The generic skulls are scattered in Golgotha.
I think the people that were crucified or whatever, past rebellious people, Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know whose skulls were scattered in there.
Sorry, I don't mean to keep you off your story.
No. These are great questions. But the story is that, yeah, so I read the last few chapters and then I ordered a copy of Brandon's book, A Spirit of Trust. And I read parts of that. I didn't read the 1,200 pages. And then I read the last 2 sections of it. And it was like he was talking about Alyosha without mentioning the name Alyosha.
Wow.
I swear to God, like he was talking exactly about Alyosha and what heroic agency means.
And who is this?
Brandon.
Talking about Hegel?
Talking about Hegel's conclusion.
And it's all Yosha's conclusion.
Exactly. And I was...
Namely to choose love over resignation?
Love, forgiveness, and recollection. And recollection...
Oh, fuck, that's me.
Right, and recollection is forgiveness. Because you're recollecting and you're telling a story.
Oh my gosh, yes, of course.
Right.
Did you read this before or after you wrote your paper?
I was reading this during, before, and after. But I had the most ecstatic experience after the oral.
I bet.
Yeah, like...
You sat in on my defense, didn't you?
I did, yes, I did, yeah.
How did it go?
I told you, it went really well.
Does it actually, because when I think about every conversation I've ever had and feel like an imposter these days.
These days?
Yeah, like now I look back and I'm like, man, I thought I knew things, and I deeper than ever know that I don't know.
Right. I also feel like that now too, a little bit, to be honest.
But it gives me comfort that someone as acute as you.
I genuinely mean it. That it was really a good oral. I loved all of it. I think you really did a good job. I think the timing was right. Like, you didn't stumble on your words. You took enough time to, calmly answer things. It was a good conversation. I liked it. It was Levy and Hekaro and Cornell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah.
I kind of blocked it out a little bit. It was so intense.
I mean, I was in that situation too. Like, I constantly kept asking people after my oral. I was like, what did you think? Like, I couldn't believe it when people were saying, oh, it was a good oral. I was like, there's no way that it was a good oral.
I have no memory of what I said or what it was about.
Right.
I mean, I do remember certain things. I remember putting Miss Levy in her place immediately. Being like, that's the wrong interpretation of this character. This is why. And then she never said anything for the rest of the oral.
Well, you know what else happened?
What?
She tried to say something at one point, and then Mr. Cornell cut her off. And then, and then after Mr. Cornell finished his point, he pointed at her, like gestured at her, and she was like, no.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she did not say anything after that.
Yeah. But Miss Levy, Mr. Cornell, and Mr. Hekaro. And I think do you just get your human letters teacher, or did I ask for him? I can't remember. I didn't ask for the other two.
Yeah, you just get the presenter, I think.
Who did I have? I must have picked Hekaro. I don't know. No, I got a signed Hekaro. I got a signed Cornell. Maybe I didn't get to pick anyone.
Yeah. Interesting. So, but here's the story isn't finished.
Okay.
So, I read the ending, and I was so moved. I was in ecstasy, and
When was this?
this was early May. This was like 1st or 2nd of May.
Okay.
And I emailed the professor, Brandon, who's at University of Pittsburgh. He never responded, but I basically wrote to him and I said, I read some of your work, and it's interesting because I'm sure you were thinking of Alyosha, from the Brothers Karamazov. But yeah, thank you. I basically wrote a letter of gratitude. I was like, thank you so much for writing this, because this is a beautiful interpretation of the phenomenology.
Yeah. Well, did you ask him if he was a fan of Dostoevsky?
No, I don't think I asked any questions. It was just, like a thank you note. Yeah. Because for me, one of the conclusions at that point was that the conclusion in the Brothers K and the phenomenology and Brandon's work is, shares a lot of things, and is very similar.
He said bridge phenomenology with Dostoevsky. You should write an essay on it.
Dude.
Well, I guess, and then just skip Brandon Sherm entirely. Or maybe use him as a footnote.
Exactly. Well, this was my idea in December.
Are you halfway through it now?
What?
Are you halfway through this book now?
No. I mean, I'm saying like this was what you just suggested was my idea in December before spring break, before spring semester.
Nice.
And I said this to Cornell. I was like, I think Hegel and Dostoevsky are both talking about the same thing here. Like, look at the ending. I was in his office, and he pulled out Hegel, and he read the last section aloud, and then he put it, and then he closed the book, and then he didn't say anything else.
Who is this? You have Mr. Cornell?
Yeah, he was my advisor.
Bro, I chose not to have him, but I met with him. He was scorned that I didn't pick him after.
Really?
Yeah, but he told me also that Brothers K wouldn't be his specialty, and he was like, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ask someone else.
Right.
But I had him over junior year through COVID, so it was like, I don't know. I don't remember junior year at all because of COVID. That was a tough year. So going into senior year, I wanted to change it up. And Mr. Franks was so cool. But he kind of took on more than he could chew. He had like 8 advisees, and I dropped to the bottom of his list.
Dude, how does anyone have 8 advisees?
He was crazy. It wasn't 8. It was more like 6. But it was like way more than he should have. He just kept taking on people, and I was like the second person to ask him. And then all these more interesting people came and asked him. And he doesn't really like Brothers K as much. He had read it like twice. Originally, I wanted to have Mr. Wolf, but he went on sabbatical, and I just was like, "Oh, my whole plan's gone."
Wow.
And then, because I was just gonna go ask him in person and like entreat him. But he was gone, and I sent him an email during COVID. And was just like, "Hey, man, any chance?" And he never got back to me. Because of course he wouldn't. He went on sabbatical.
This is Michael Wolff?
Yeah.
Wow.
They don't need to get rid of anyone except for us. It's ridiculous.
Oh my god, dude. If I swear to God, if there is another pandemic and if they even start saying like, all right, everyone stay home, nobody's going to do it. Nobody.
No.
It's
Dude,
like,
if they did though, I think people would. I don't think the world could handle it.
no.
People would absolutely lose their minds. You know,
It's like, are you kidding me?
the whole fucking world would fall apart. That can't happen. Don't talk like that. Bro, I'm a teacher, dude.
Right.
I'm definitely like dipping. It's like there's a disease, bro. I'm like, oh, sorry. What's going on? We can just fuck about in his classroom, talking about books. No shit. Oh, I'm not getting sick.
Right.
Hell no.
Dude, teaching high schoolers on Zoom would not be fun. That
No.
they you're already trying to, kind of like hold their attentions, like nobody does that on Zoom.
Dude, if I just don't, I think I might fucking lose it.
Right.
I mean, 8 hours ahead. No, you know what? I could probably do it from home and just be late classes. I could be down with that. You know?
Right.
I can do that from England.
Just on your raft or boat or something in Cambridge, like.
Totally, man. Absolutely. Duh. Of course I would. Be outside on the pond, bro. With my book, sitting in the trees and be like, "Hello, class. Shall we read more of the Republic?" It lines up perfectly. I'd be like, I don't even know, man. Can you imagine I gotta put like a suit on and just go on this boat?
Well,
Wear a tie. Tie is mandatory for teachers at the school.
Yeah, you're doing it for your class.
But on a punt, maybe I can just wear a boater.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, what were we talking about?
What even?
Stuff. We're talking about philosophy.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna start talking about bullshit. Start talking about bullshit.
Walk in the middle of a seminar, leave for bathroom, come back, it's like, still talking about bullshit. I'm out of here. How come I never did that, dude?
But you should have done that in seminar. Cornell and Levy. Miss Levy might be like down. That'd be so funny. She just doesn't catch. Man, it is so nice. Arizona's cool enough because of the hurricane.
Are you at the park?
I'm walking back now.
I see.
Time to go to sleep. Can you believe it? It's pretty sweet.
What?
Teaching.
What? Dude, here's the thing. I have to tell you something.
What?
So, I don't know. This might be sort of irrelevant, totally pointless, but still want to say it because I think it's important. Um, You're like, is it really important if you had to say that?
If you forget it, it's not important. That's my philosophy.
Right. So about a month ago, not about a month ago, 2 weeks ago actually, I went for an interview and an artist assistant job, right? This is the one. And rode my bike there, and I was wearing my sunglasses, my favorite pair of sunglasses from Ray-Bans. And then on the way back, the woman gave me a ride back, and then I don't know what happened to the pair of sunglasses. Like, did I leave it at her place? Did I drop it outside? What happened? And 2 days ago, I emailed her. I was like, just FYI, I might have dropped my glasses somewhere. And she said, oh, I don't know. So now I'm like, I missed those pair of sunglasses, dude.
Yeah.
A year ago, I would have been really upset. No, 2 years ago, I would have been really upset. But now I'm just like, what does that mean? Is it time to move on?
Yeah.
You're just like, yeah, that's a tragedy. Somebody doesn't like that story.
Sorry.
No.
I got distracted.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I'll get you for that.
Realized that I haven't really curated my social media.
You haven't really what?
Curated my social media.
Why do you have to curate your social media?
So the kids don't find it.
Dude, you care too much about what these kids think about you. What is on your social media? Like, what have you posted that you're afraid of them finding out?
No, it's not what I mean. I just don't want them to find me. I don't want to be bothered with that.
Right. Yeah, your student sending friend requests to you is something. You're like, I'm not gonna accept their friend request. But also, why would they bother to send me a friend request? Hey, are you still there?
Yeah.
Sorry, I tried to add Chase Maney to this call. He didn't pick up his phone.
Damn.
He sent me.
He don't be picking up his phone these days.
No, dude, he learned how to do a do not disturb on his phone. He finally learned. The quiet hours. Dude, I showed up to Nike today.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something.
Hmm.
These people know a thing or two about shoes.
Do they?
This is riveting.
Sorry, bro.
Why'd you just say? Do they? I mean, if Plato was writing this down, he'd have to edit the shit out of this. Like, you have to jump things up, like punch things up.
He would add in moments where the gods were doing things. He would talk about how erotic the grass is.
Right. Right. He'd zoom out of this conversation just to focus on the grass for a little bit.
Yeah.
But let's see. Yeah, the Nike store, dude. It was interesting. I mean, turns out that for some reason I hadn't completed the onboarding, so I had to go and do that. So now the orientation has been delayed until further notice. But I could see myself working there. It's, I mean, I thought it was a nice place.
Yeah.
The only thing that would bother me, I think, would be the music. The in-store music. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But enough about that. How was your day like?
My day was good.
Okay.
I had a good chat with the students.
You had 3 classes?
No, I did have 3.
Right.
I substituted for 2 art classes. I ran the lunch keep. So I watched over the lunch hall.
I see.
And I did 2-hour discussion on the Iliad.
Wow. Was that really busy? Was that a busy day for you?
Yeah, it was pretty busy.
Right.
But usually I do 2-hour discussion on the Iliad, and then a 2-hour lesson on history.
Right.
Then I'm learning as I go.
Hmm.
It's really hard.
What's really hard?
Yeah.
What? Say it again.
It's really, really hard.
Right. Really, really fun. Just like this conversation.
Yeah.
What?
I said, you know me, I love good chat.
Right.
What can you do without good chat? And the kids don't even know what good chat is.
Because they haven't lived long enough.
But a lot of people have never seminar. You're in a little bubble.
Right. That, yeah. They're like, seminar? Wait, what? I'm supposed to listen to somebody else? Wait, why? They're stupid.
Why wouldn't I just be me? Why wouldn't I do everything for me? What do you mean other people?
Dude, I mean, that was such a big part of St. John's, right? It's just like some of these people, God, they're insufferable.
Who the fuck are you?
Like,
Just forget my speech. Isn't it beautiful?
it's really not beautiful sometimes, dude.
This is a really gross looking orange. I think I should eat this.
Dude, some people would stay quiet the whole year except those 5 times when they would just totally go autistic on you. Just take over and hijack the entire class.
Man, I feel like I was so crazy. I did bonkers shit.
In class?
No, just in general.
Right.
I'm a pretty bonkers guy.
You keep saying that, but so far I don't know of anything that you've done that's been bonkers.
I just think I say silly things.
Right. Well, we actually didn't hung out outside of class, except maybe once or twice, and that's it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I really didn't have a social life for like 98% of the school year.
Oh, I just was in my place.
Mm,
I was just I had a sweet sophomore and senior year.
right.
So I just was up there hanging with my friends. You should have come up and played chess and Go with us. We played it all the time.
Oh yeah, you guys were playing Go?
Yeah, I'm a huge Go player. If you ever want to play, I'll destroy you.
Yeah, I'd be down to try it, man.
Let's get a Go app and play right now.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna get on that, dude. Not now. Might as well get on a boat and get to Istanbul or somewhere, you know.
Well, isn't that bad?
That is a bonkers thing to say. It's like, if you're gonna go to Istanbul, it must be that bad.
You know when you levied it. Bro, I can't wait for the new Adventure Time show to come out.
Oh wait, the new anime?
Yeah, there's the extension of Adventure Time coming out soon.
Where's that gonna stream?
HBO Max.
I thought so. Adventure Time.
And it's gonna. Bro, I love that you shouted me out.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I haven't watched any of the HBO of any of the Adventure Time.
Really?
Yeah.
You need to watch all of it right now. Stop everything. And then come back to me and tell me that it doesn't make you happy.
Wait. I'll add you. Wait. Wait. Hello.
I'm in a conference call with you and yourself. Who is this? Is this my dude? Oh, did you really choose for sure? Join us.
Friends unite and lovers gather.
Yeah. What's up? How do you do? Huh? How do you diddly do? It diddly, it diddly does. It's diddly does it? It's diddly doing, as it does. Nice. Are you in Arizona? I'm in the zona. You're in the zona? I'm totally, How about yourself? Are you in the mess? Yeah. In the mess. How's all that mess? It's good. It's all nasty. Nice. Yeah. Is Zero still here?
I'm still here.
Hello, friend.
I'm just letting you guys catch up, you know? I've talked to both of you individually. It's just, I love it when lovers talk to each other once more. That was a beautiful sight.
What?
Exactly.
Wait, so what are you doing, Chase?
Just making art.
I saw your YouTube shit. It's good. YouTube? Have you been following Xerox YouTube? Yeah. It's been pretty quality. I'm his #1 fan. Yeah. I listen to the podcast every day. You do? Yeah, bro.
He's a better fan than you, dude.
Wow.
He gets in the chat and yeah.
Bro, have you seen Esma's portfolio, dude? Yeah. It's pretty sick. That's awesome. So when are we gonna get this? So next summer, right? Traveling circus of art and seminars. Yeah, we're gonna dress up as Native Americans. Native Americans.
Damn. And we're gonna call it the Cancel Tour. Dude, that's the only way we can go around the country like that.
Yeah, I didn't think about the cancel culture. I just thought about how cool it would be. Right, we should do like a Cowboys and Indians thing. Cowboys and Indians? Yeah, you know what's better than the only thing worse than Indians is Cowboys and Indians, isn't it? Right. Yeah, because what if we do Indians and a lot of tea? Right, but think about all the young boys that grow up without Cowboys and Indians now. You know, rest in peace. Rest in peace, G.I. Joe. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, snakes and ladders. Shoot some ladders. It's all roundabouts. I mean, you don't want to go down a snake, but you can go. It's all snakes and cantaloupes.
Cantaloupes. I like that.
Yeah, it's in ladders with cultural appropriation, so they changed the name. The snakes and ladders. Nice.
Did you guys see the store that I launched earlier today?
I did. You just texted it to me as we've been on the phone, and I've not taken my mind off this conversation.
Of course you haven't. Yeah, you've been totally zoned in.
Oh, it's the art store.
Yeah.
Wow.
You get free shipping, by the way.
How much would it cost me to commission one?
10 grand. And that's a deal. That's really a deal. I mean, you know.
Why don't you start with $10?
That's actually a great suggestion. Yes, that is actually a great suggestion. Can you imagine if I posted that on Twitter, like $5 to commission for me to do a commission piece?
Right. This is a good idea. This is actually a good idea. What you could do is sort of like a NFT thing, but it's every commission you do is going to be double the cost of the one before.
That's an interesting concept.
Like an NFT that, right? So if you want a commission from Xerox, you should get it sooner, right? Before it's expensive.
Right.
Because each
it compounds.
I want the one that's for 1 cent. Stupid. I want a commission one for 1 cent. Just because your commissions get twice as expensive doesn't mean that the art get twice as good.
Right, because it's already really good.
Right. It's already then you just break the whole mold, don't you? Of value. I think that value is a very strange phenomenon. It's Zeus.
Right. What do you mean?
It's the stuff that you can't control.
Value?
Values?
Oh, values? I'm not sure I follow.
I've been reading too much of the Greeks and teaching the Iliad.
Yeah.
All I think of is in the gods.
Zeus is selling NFTs. Yeah.
Continue though.
I can't remember what I was saying.
Were you saying something?
No. Dude, Whiskey is such a good boy now.
What?
Whiskey's such a good boy now.
Yeah. Charlie, do you know who Whiskey is?
It's a dog.
A slave.
What?
Chase has a slave now.
Oh no. That's not good. What?
Here's my opinion of it. This is what I was getting towards earlier.
This is what you were getting toward slavery earlier?
Slavery, yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Whose bong is that?
I don't know.
I don't know. The best answer.
I think knows that. Like, okay, so if there is like a child in India that being like abused and tortured, right? Like, even though I am not connected to that person in any way,
Yeah.
like the awareness that that suffering is like currently taking place
Is
should
awesome. No,
should
sorry.
be like the grief of it like I feel like every person should well, it's strange. Well, I was using an extreme example to get back to where we were, which is like so I didn't finish that thought, but let's see if I'm trying to connect it. Sorry, hold on a second. It's a little complicated. But what I'm saying is, like, why are we trying to like take value from one another when what we're really like trying to do as the human race is like to eliminate suffering, right? But yeah, like the energy doesn't make sense. Like everyone's trying to like pull resources towards themselves. But what's really needed is everyone giving, right? Like, if someone's homeless, like they need your $5 much more than you do.
Yeah.
It's just sort of strange, like this idea of value is like, it's so, I mean, I guess I'm not really saying anything new, but it's so backwards. Like, it's not what makes sense for us at all, because it doesn't help us to help one another. It actually says like, oh, well, I have money for this sandwich, so it's, you know, it's my sandwich, you know. So, but it's like, you know, what if, you know, everybody's hungry? You know, is one person like, because they have more value, that they should be, you know, that they somehow deserve more love or more luxury? Like, does it not?
Good Chase.
What?
Can't we be better though?
Yeah, we can be better. I'm just trying to point out like the logic of it. Like, a dog deserves the same amount of love and affection as the wealthiest person in the world, the most famous person in the world, let's say.
Elon Musk.
Right? So like, or John Mayer, right? Like, everyone's like showering famous people with love, even though it's needed, well, actually in the opposite places the most. The least famous people need love.
But I think it's, I don't know. I think it's good to look upwards though. Mentors and values are important. And having places you can go, like, imagine you can get to.
But so is
idols.
So is our attention and the way we treat one another. And when we idolize people, we say that they are somehow different, you know, or I don't know. I don't want to be that way at all. And can you imagine if, I don't know. I just think that this idea of success is not success at all. It's a failure. Success is the people you love being like all right. Success is not, you know, someone thought I was valuable.
So what is success?
Success is the well-being of everybody that is relevant to you or not.
So together, no one?
What?
Together or no one?
No, it's just more like, if you're pursuing, you know, it's not that.
I'm not trying to challenge you.
Right. No, I mean, it's good. I'm not saying that fame is inherently evil. I'm saying that the way that we conceptualize it is
sensationalize it.
Conceptualize it.
Sensationalize it.
You know. Right. It is the sensationalization. Right, like, I really don't think that any person, like, everyone is in need of love, you know, in a sort of like infinite magnitude.
Totally. That's just loving yourself. There's a lot of different people at different places.
Sure.
With different levels of value.
Right. I mean, there's no like, you know, there's no law to it. It's just more, you know, more.
Everyone's on the cusp of greatness.
What?
Like on the cusp of passing over, Chase. But we're all also wretched, awful things.
Right.
It can be both at the same time.
Right. Well, and why don't we start to see that? Well, I don't know. I don't think that's. I also don't think that might. Like, I think that the self can become more in tune with,
No, I know, but I think it always is. Yeah, that's all that ever is.
it's always in tune with the good, right? You're just at different like stages of suffering,
and different parts of the hero's journey, though. It's all one story.
So maybe it's like when you complete the journey and you're in a stage of peace is when you like go out into the world and
fight the dragon.
well, I thought that was the hero's journey.
But the hero's journey is just the story, the pattern of life.
The hero's journey is that you are the dragon. That the dragon is not someone outside of you.
Right.
No, the hero's journey is
No,
Joseph Campbell.
I agree
An
with
author.
you, Esmont. I think that's like super wise what you just said.
Right, because every battle that you're fighting, you're winning yourself. Right? Like the ultimate win is not against somebody else. The ultimate win is in yourself. And I'm not saying like, like I've progressed to level 12, but if you even like get destroyed, you win because you've won a battle in yourself, like you've defeated yourself or something.
Right. That's the real, yeah.
It's Dante. You have to go down before you can go up.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the whole idea of baptism. Like the reason why they dunk babies' heads in the water is because you first go down, then you come back up, and they do that 3 times. I mean, it's symbolic, but that's what that means.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. I mean, it's all just self-work. That's the hero's journey.
But what if there was something, what if there was a way that we could no longer sort of be obsessed with this idea and allow it to transform so that we can write new stories. Because
that's how you have to recognize where you're at on the hero's journey to then be able to just to write anything.
Forget the journey at all and just enjoy.
That's like Achilles. He's asked if he wants to live or fight for honor. He chooses to fight for honor, and in the afterlife tells Odysseus that he wishes he chose life.
Right. Interesting. But that's really interesting. That totally relates to what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because what I'm saying, like, if you can think of the day as a hero's journey, right? Like the sunrise and the sunset.
The hero's journey happens many, many, many times over and over and over again.
Right, in many different ways, if we see it that way.
Yeah, of course.
Or the sun rises and sets, and we fill the day as if it were a canvas.
Wait, we build a bidet?
We fill the day
Oh, okay.
as if it were a canvas.
Right.
And to me, that's not exactly like a hero's journey. That's more like a dance or that's just fun.
Totally. That's totally a thing. Even the Greeks at the end of the day have a feast and drink wine.
Right.
After battle.
And maybe
the sweet darkness take them in the night.
Yeah. And maybe Achilles didn't need to be the hero. You know, maybe he could have just fought.
He had a double fate. Either he kept his honor and died fighting Hector, or he went and lived a long life in Greece without his honor, having all the spoils of war. And it says, it's my honor. And that's the double fate he's given by Zeus.
Gentlemen,
Zeus' honor.
we have entered a new day. It is 12 o'clock.
It's only 9 o'clock.
Well,
But you guys can pass over.
Yeah. All right. So Billy's the regretful hero.
Way to put him down, dude.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm only playing. Right, I'm stepping away from the norm, knowing that we can go back to it, but at least with like a grain of salt and say like, hey, like maybe
Words don't matter, Chase.
What?
The words don't matter.
The words don't matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
As in, like with your idea, just that you can say this right now, and go back on it later. But it's moving around. The words are just the medium.
Right, to see things.
Yeah. You see things in dialections.
Right. Well, I think you can see things, but you can also work towards truth.
Yeah.
And that is more like a constructive. That's more like logic. That's more like a culmination. A story, maybe.
It's like building something on the seminar table.
Right.
Building a tower with all these people.
Right. Except, you don't need a table.
Huh?
Except the table is superfluous.
Yeah. Sure.
I could,
Hey, what if we do something like this? We open a restaurant where we sell euros or gyros, some people call it.
Kebabs.
Exactly, but we call the restaurant what? Hero's Journey or Euros Journey.
the seminar table.
What about the seminar table?
I kind of like that. Gyro's Journey.
Hero's Journey?
Yeah.
Wow. And we also sell Campbell's soup.
Yeah.
A little bit of Andy Warhol.
It was like
Andy warped my hole.
And he warped your what?
All right, guys, I'm gonna have to go to bed.
You have to go to bed. It's
Yeah,
9
I
o'clock.
think so.
Dude, it's 9 o'clock.
I have to wake up at 5. I
It's
think
a little 5?
yeah, I get to work at 7, and I'm gonna read in the morning.
Nice. Charlie, how is your stuff?
Sorry,
How's Great Hearts?
it's pretty great.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet. Everything's fun. I'm teaching American history now, which is really tough, but I'm learning a lot. Colonial America in the Age of Exploration is a really fucking cool time.
Right.
So it's been really cool. I'll end this year with a pretty good understanding because we're gonna go try to get all the way through the Korean War.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna have to learn all of this shit and talk about that with them. It's gonna be cool.
You know, my next endeavor is to learn about Africa.
Yeah, man. Did I tell you I'm going there?
To Nairobi?
Yeah.
That's actually what brought it back up. I went and looked at a map, and I saw that I had no markers in Africa. And I zoomed in at a random spot, and I zoomed in right to Nairobi, and then I went to Kilimanjaro.
Yeah. I'm going with Fonzie
That's awesome.
probably this summer after going around. Or maybe before or after I go back to Rome. And then Kaylin and I are going to go hopping islands in
Are
Greece.
you gonna go to Nairobi? You say?
Sorry?
When are you going to Nairobi?
No, I'm going to do Grey Hearts for a year.
Oh, year, right?
And then I'm island hopping in Greece with Caitlin after she graduates.
Whoa.
And then I'm going to Africa to work with Fonzie at his uncle's school for a summer.
Wow.
And then I'm going to move back to Cambridge, punt, and get settled and find a place to study or teach there.
Nice. Sweet.
That's the plan right now.
That's the plan, man.
And both of your plans are my plans.
Yeah, man. But I'm also I'm working with Doug. Doug wants to come with me abroad, but he wants to do this tour, American tours of these places with like doing seminars, and so we want to launch.
Wait, what?
We want to try to put our heads together to do like tours, like historic and philosophic tours of different parts of like Rome, and just kind of do pop-up tours and sell tickets.
Oh, right. I thought you said seminar.
Yeah, seminars as well. We want to do like little academic camps popping up on doing like tours.
What if you mix the two? What if you do like seminar tours where there's like a reading before?
That's what we're talking about. Is we're going to go to the places where the people wrote the stuff and do seminars and tours of these places.
That's a great idea.
And just spend a bunch of time learning each place right before we do it.
That's awesome.
And I learned how to prepare tours, now I'm learning how to teach. So it's going to be, and Doug's already done this, both of those things too. So I'm just thinking we can probably learn how to do it all now.
Wow.
So I just had to keep him on his toes and interested, because I know I'm going to go. Because I know I can do it. I've done all the different pieces separately. And after the end of this year, I'll know the teaching bit a lot more.
Right.
I'll definitely have more confidence leading it, facilitating a seminar after a year of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the goal right now. That or Daikon.
Like Achilles.
Like Achilles. So it's for the honor. Or you can live a long life in the woods.
In the woods?
Yeah, in the dark wood.
Oh. Well, I'm going to go to Nairobi and ride an alpaca to Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, you should.
And I'm
That's the
going
same stuff.
to learn sword fighting.
Or Daikon.
Huh?
You should go do that or Daikon.
Dyson?
Or die.
Bison. Bison.
Fuck you, Bison.
It's fucking nuts. Rhyming words to confuse them.
Let's go on a hunt.
I'm going, Chase, you should fly out to Santa Fe to hike. You should both fly out to Santa Fe for the week that I'm going for fall break and hike Pedernal and Abiquiu. The mountain calls and it's coming.
Oh, I actually might be in New Mexico in the fall.
We
Why?
should all plan to be there.
Why?
Yeah.
My friend's getting married.
Oh, okay, who's your friend?
Why?
What?
Why? Okay, why? Why?
Who's your
Why?
friend?
Why do you have to know?
I don't know.
You don't know. Are you
He
serious?
wants to know. Give him a break.
All right, yeah.
Well, my friend from Dead to It.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
We should go hike a mountain. I've been dreaming of it every night, and I saw you both there in a vision months ago.
How many months?
Esma, do you remember when I told you about it? How long ago was that?
2 weeks ago.
No, it wasn't.
When was it?
I was like, remember I kept texting you, Panadol, Panadol, Panadol.
Oh, that was back in early July and June.
I don't even know what Pedernal is. It sounds like
It's one of the most incredible mountains I've ever had.
that'd be a good name for an anti-pedophile drug. Have you been having thoughts?
Thoughts? Are you serious?
Thoughts.
Okay, I'm gonna text you a painting of Panadol.
By Georgia O'Keeffe.
By Georgia O'Keeffe.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
Right. Do you think she could
I
pack
think I've already sent it to you.
Wow.
When you stand on one of those sides, on the one on the right, you can see the entire Painted Desert and Lake Abacu, 360 degrees around you. Looking around, it's one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Because usually you can't see clearly down and around the entire valley of anything in every direction in one point. But because of the little lip there, and because it's like this big boulder thing on top, it's just crazy. And I claimed it tripping on mushrooms, and it's crazy.
Mushrooms.
Like rope ladders and stuff.
Sorry?
Is this that hike where there's all these like rope ladders and stuff?
Yeah, maybe. We definitely went to like the boonies. We're out. I invited Henry to one. He said
There's this really awesome hike that has like you have to. It's all like on it against the cliff. Like you like go climbing up the cliff, like treacherous ass. Like
Are you talking about Angel's Landing?
I don't know. Maybe.
In Zion?
No, I'm talking about in New Mexico. Yeah, it's just like straight up a hill, like straight up a steep cliff.
Yeah.
It's like a staircase kind of back and forth up the cliff of hiking.
This is like we had to boost each other up.
Well, that's crazy. What about the last person?
We slung them down the rope and pulled them up.
What?
Tripping balls on mushrooms. It was fucking awesome.
What the fuck?
And then we like got to the top, and it was like the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And I'm going back. Fallbrook. Be there or be square. I've already foreseen it. You both are there at that time when it happens. And I've learned to write the story.
You gonna write the story?
Nope. I'll write the story. And it's happened. Ellen, I wrote already. Huh?
A dose? You're gonna take a dose of pedonal?
Fentanyl.
All three of us.
Fentanyl.
No, I'm just kidding.
Fentanyl and yeah.
I'm so out of weed.
Wait, that's Fentanyl? I thought that was a like.
It's fucking awesome, dude. It's how fucking cool that knife is.
Wow. Charlie, are you instilling Zeus's values into the children?
Sorry?
I don't know. You said Zeus had all the values, so are you like?
No, I said Zeus is Zeus is in control.
In control?
None of the gods even question Zeus.
Right. Yeah.
He's too powerful. They tried to fight him once and it didn't go well.
Right. Those retards.
So there's some things in this world that you just don't fight.
I'm gonna fight Zeus. I'm down. I'm gonna wrestle Zeus.
1-on-1. Here we go.
1v1 me, bro.
That's diabetes.
Best out of 3.
Best out of 3. Arm wrestle.
Diabetes fights the gods.
Rochambeau.
I wonder who's gonna win this round. Oh, of course, Zeus.
He's a fucking god.
I had my money on Chase, though. Get it? That's the joke.
Yeah. Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah.
Chase,
What?
you should reread the Iliad. It's really good.
And then what?
And then talk to me about it.
And then what?
And then have the perfect conversation that unlocks the universe and then go to heaven.
Okay. I'm kind of down. That sounds like a good deal.
Kind of down.
I'm kind of down.
See, that's why I'm just kind of down with enlightenment.
Tie me down.
Tie me down.
Tie me down.
Yeah.
Tie me down. Would somebody please? I'm obsessed with color. Color is life. I was sleeping on color for so long.
You were what?
I was sleeping on color.
Yeah. There's a lot of them. There's a lot to get acquainted with.
There's yellow.
Huh?
There's yellow.
Are you gonna start listing them?
Yeah.
I let me see. Some of them are my friends too. I'll let you know which ones I know.
There's Ronald, George, Dan.
Those
the senior colors, aren't they?
Yeah. Senor.
Senior colors.
Senor.
Senior colores.
Have you seen your colores?
¿Dónde?
¿Dónde
Está la colores?
las colores? ¿Dónde está la macro?
La colores.
When the moon hits your eye.
There we go.
La colores.
Colores.
La colores.
Los colores.
La colores.
Los colores.
La colores.
Wow. These are some colors working.
Yeah. That's some Weird Al right there.
From that Weird Al.
There's that Weird Al getting funky with George. George and the other colors.
That's a good band name. George and the Other Colors.
Oh, I want to be an other color.
I'm gonna write it down.
Yeah, we just need to find someone named George.
George?
What about Georgie? Georgie and the other colors. I know a Georgie.
Gorgeous Yorgi.
Georgie.
When were we? What conversation spawned the term friccata in D minor?
Oh, yeah. Who are we talking to?
I don't know.
Oh, we were talking to Tommy.
Oh,
Do you remember that?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you-
Tommy. Oh yeah, Tommy. I know.
You remember Tommy?
I've heard whispers of Tommy.
Heard Tommy whispering.
Yeah.
Tommy's whispers.
The man from the South Wind.
Whispers of Tommy.
The West Wind.
The West Wind. Oh my gosh, I'm hurting my own eyes.
How?
Colors.
Here's a question. Is the wind from the west blowing east?
No, that would be called. Whiskey.
I barely know her.
Are you going to ask your slave where the wind blows from?
Whiskey. Google it.
Good boy.
Good boy, whiskey. Whiskey. Google.
Never forget the power of positive affirmation. Usually.
Come on, whiskey. Google.
You should rename your Siri to Whiskey.
Siri?
Yeah. Rename it so it goes, hey Whiskey.
Hey,
And then
Whiskey.
it goes, how can I help you? You like Google this shit for me.
Oh, right. What if you named your dog Alexa?
I won't be confused.
I don't think you would know what Alexa is.
How long were we on a call before Chase got here?
12 hours.
I'd say like what? I think that's maybe an overestimate.
What?
I think you're one factor too large. I think you forget to carry the 0.
You know what that makes me think of? When the moon hits your eye, like. How come nobody ever had that comeback in a seminar? It's like, you know what I think of that?
No one had that comeback. I liked your joke earlier. Esma was like, I should come and do a seminar. After going to the bathroom and sat down and go, we still talking about bullshit. Bullshit. I just lost my bullshit. Alright, boys. I'm gonna go to sleep.
All right, boys. Good night.
Good night. This has been Mr. Knight tuning out.
Yep.
All right. Tune in. Turn on. Toodaloo. Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.